I talked to my wife and got input from her. I talked to my CEO that I work for at work. And by the way, don't just talk to your safe Christian friends. If all you go to are your safe Christian friends, you'll have a very warped sense of who you are. God can speak through anybody. My boss gave me a lot of insight. I went to my pastor, and I want to share with you what he said. Pastor Jack Hayford was my pastor back in those days. I'll never forget the day I sat down with him, and I said, Pastor Jack, when you look at me, what do you see? And he picked up a pepper shaker, and he's off the table. He says, you see this? He says, this is product. I said, okay. He says, you like product. Okay. You know why you like product? I said, no, why? He says, because you know how to buy the raw material. You know how to put it together, assemble it. You know how to package it. You know how to advertise it and market it. You know how to price it. You can control product. And already I'm thinking, whoa, I'm not sure I'm going to like this evaluation, you know? And then he picks up the salt shaker and he says, you see this? I said, yeah. He said, this is salt. You don't like salt. He says, you know why? I said, no, why? He says, because the salt represents fruit, and you don't like fruit. Why is that? It was amazing. And he was recognizing a transition that had to happen in me to rely a lot less on Vince and a lot more on the Holy Spirit in my life. Because kind of fruit grows the way it wants to grow. You can't control fruit. He began to describe the unbelievable characteristics of fruit compared to product in ways that I had never heard before. But the idea here was you really can't control fruit. It was amazing. And he was recognizing a transition that had to happen in me to rely a lot less on Vince and a lot more on the Holy Spirit in my life. It was a feedback I would have never gotten before had I not asked the question.
More of the Men on Target series with Vince D'Acchioli at otm.co.